Greetings and salutations, this is Jason Silverain, and today's video game is a bit more of a somber affair. 9.03M is actually named after the magnitude that caused a tsunami in 2013 and led to the deaths of many people in Japan. This game was developed and produced by Space Budgie to help raise funds for charity and remind people of the victims. Now, as you can see, unfortunately I can't full screen, I've got no real options to play around with, so we're just going to get into this. The game's a bit old and buggy. It's one I've been meaning to play for so long, but never really found the moment. But it's a quiet little thing to think about and mull over. And chock full of atmosphere. It's certainly pretty, even if the graphics are dated now. And this is a bit of a Marmite game. You either love it or hate it. It is a walking simulator, so if that's if that's not your thing, then I can understand if you just click off now. There's not really much exploration either. Though people have been known to just walk along, sit down and just listen to the waves and look at the scenery. This is supposed to be Baker's Beach in San Francisco, which for many years was having various bits of debris from the tsunami wash up. And I believe these are supposed to be actual items that appeared. So a little kids' football. Normally I'd go off and explore, but there isn't really much to see. It's all about telling the tale of these people. Love, life and happiness together. Engraved wedding ring, I presume. And as we follow the butterflies, the tide rolls out. I can understand some people wanting to just sit here and listen to the waves. It's well, it's peaceful. I do think they could have done with a slightly more interesting skybox. Just like the hint of stars here and there. And a run button. Sadly, this game, for its age, is slightly buggy. Wasn't the best made of creations, let's be honest. But even if technically it's not amazing, it's still worth exploring and seeing what it invokes. Music box? The choice of music for these moments is very good. It certainly conveys the emotion they want to, want the audience to feel. That said, when I first picked up this game, I thought it was going to be there was several of these ahead of time, and it wasn't just like leading you from one to the next. You'd have to find a bunch, then it would roll out, then more and more. Is that a pocket watch? A little hard to tell. Yeah, it is. If it just turns round, please. There we go. I'll be frankly honest, I don't think the game deserves the high praises it had so much with its fandom. It definitely feels like a lot of people got overly defensive about the quality of this game, because there was plenty of trolls, but there was equally as many fanatics. I can't exactly jump. I guess that's just an automatic thing. Because beyond the silhouettes, there's no stories about these people. If it was silhouettes doing things just before the events occurred, that would be understandable. But in many cases, the silhouettes fade out before you can really get a good glance at them. And the objects themselves are quite difficult to see in this sort of blur effect they've got on. I mean, the wedding ring so far has been the most defined one, and the football, because it had names. They should have started with the ones that don't have names and then move on to the named ones. A slipper. Oh no, or is that a... Oh no, it's a baby hamper. I was half expecting to be like something to appear in it, like a silhouette of a child or something. So if I remember correctly, butterflies are supposed to represent the spirits of the deceased in Japan. I'm not entirely certain. I know butterflies have a significant meaning, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So it is worrying how far this is like just going out. I mean, this is actually what happens just before a tsunami, so if at the end, if it comes all crashing back, I will not be surprised. In fact, I'll be a little disappointed if it doesn't, because that would be a very powerful message. And they're all just child's toys now. Again, I know the death of children is supposed to be like hitting hard here, but at the same time, you've had that sort of 3 or 4 times in a row, so it loses its effect. Wow. That I wasn't expecting. That's a much more powerful image. I swear it spelled out something there, but it was too faint to make out. Oh, I read 2011, sorry. Sadly, the post I read on this was incorrect about it being 2013. So yes, this came out 2 years after the event, still funding charities that were dealing with it. Just goes to show how much disaster response, how long it takes. So it's not just months, it's years after these events that infrastructure and people's lives need to be put back together if they ever can be. But yes, thank you for joining me for this one. Again, I can understand why some people would be heavily affected by that ending, but at the same time I do understand the critics saying, yeah, this is kind of a low effort. It almost feels like it's cashing in on the event. If it wasn't for the fact the developers eventually turned around and donated 100% of the money shortly afterwards. I think initially they were donating most of it, and then after some backlash it turned to 100%. Yeah. And I'm just going to say, have a good evening, everyone.